It's expensive to be made.
Welcome to Bravo Moms Unfiltered, the podcast where real moms spill the tea on all the things Bravo and the chaos of everyday life.
We're your hosts, Allie and Crystal, two Bravo-assessed moms who aren't afraid to say what everyone's thinking completely unfiltered.
From housewives drama to mom life meltdowns, we're here to break it all down with humor, honesty, and maybe a little bit of bitching.
So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for some unfiltered fun. Welcome back, Bravo Moms. We are live again. We'll get started with the Valley episode 8. So this is the episode before the series finale. So Mercedes decides to go door knocking in her neighborhood to let her neighbors know that she's a real estate agent, which I think is good for her, so she can get that commission, because why not? You live there. Tanin is about to launch her new product, and she's having a photo shoot, and she has Reza J come, which I thought was awesome, that come help support her new skin line. And Tanin says to Reza J, since Sky's launch, Sky hasn't reached out to her at all. They haven't talked at all. And they didn't really leave that lunch on good terms either. Then we go over to Sky. We learn that Sky's dad has Alzheimer's, and he is at Iran with her siblings and her stepmom, and she said it's very hard for her to be here when he is over there because she can't be there, and the burden is on her siblings. Mercedes and Gigi do aura photography. That is really cool. I've never done that, but that was cool to kind of see, like, you get your picture taken and you kind of see what color is around you, and then she kind of reads your color, I guess is what it is. We learned that Dennis and Gigi are going to make lab diamonds called Valley Girl Diamonds, which is a dig at Sky. But I thought that was a cute name for it. Amar and Natasha talk about getting a vasectomy. And she's like, I'm done after 3. And he is like, well, I understand that. But what if, like, in the future, I want to have more kids? I get where he's coming from, because with his first wife, they weren't able to. So he seems like it's kind of not a waste, but like a sign that he shouldn't. So I
Well, you
get
can
both
always
sides.
reverse it.
You can always reverse it.
Men can
So
reverse it, women can't.
I get where he's coming from with that. DG, Tannen, and Mercedes are getting Botox. And while they're doing that, Mercedes gets a call from school saying that Shams wasn't picked up. So then she is furious, like any mom would be. She calls Tommy and he doesn't answer. I want to say it went straight to voicemail. So then she is upset, and you can clearly tell. And Gigi kind of tries to help calm her down. Mercedes and Gigi go out front, and Mercedes is stress eating Hershey Kisses, and I said, not Gigi, trying to eat them. Stuffs her face and goes, I can't fit any more in my mouth, and just spits out a big wad of them.
Gross.
Tommy finally answers, and he says, I didn't really understand his excuse. He made it sound like he was trying to find parking for the last 30 minutes, and that's why he wasn't there. But I don't know why he couldn't have just called the school and said, hey, I can't find parking. Yeah, or something like that. So then Tannen asked Mercedes if she can depend on Tommy, and she said normally she doesn't depend on him, which I think is a telltale sign. Adam and Reza do tantric yoga. This is very sexual. I've never heard of this, but wow.
I kind of like skipped over this part. I was like, what? Is this like soft gay porn?
I know, I was like, and then you have the guy sitting there just kind of like egging you on, like, it was very weird. I was like, are they gonna have a threesome or something? I don't know.
I mean, that's what what's his face thought in the beginning.
Right. So it's a day of Mercedes' Twilight open house. So she shows up to Lila's house early, Mercedes does. And then Adam and Reza show up. And Mercedes can't get a hold of Tommy again. So Lila calls, and he answers on the first ring. And Mercedes is basically like, I literally just called you and you can't even like respond to me. Like, what's up with that? So then Tommy comes with the ice. And Adam and Lila are like, well, should we go help him? And they're like, well, I guess we should. So they go out there and help him. And Adam is trying to be nice, saying, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Tommy is not having it. He's not staying. He doesn't really say anything to Reza. And he just says, here's the ice. Here's some flowers. And Adam's like, oh, did you get these for Mercedes? He's like, no, she wanted these for the event or something. And I was like, oh, okay. So he just ends up leaving.
I think he's upset because he really wants to do it the real way and he doesn't want cameras in the way. And I feel like production is really trying hard to push
Him
the
and
narrative or
Reza.
trying to get it on tape.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really upsetting him, like, that felt like an ambush by production,
Yeah,
and it made it look bad on Reza, and
yeah.
I respect that he just left knowing that I just texted you and said, "Yes, I wanna have a conversation outside of out
When
of"
production's over,
Yeah,
yeah.
when production's over, and if you don't respect that and you're still gonna try and come up and say hi to me, you know, like, that just shows that you're just trying, you know, like
You're not respecting his
I
boundaries.
mean, yeah. So I get it, and they're showing up at her shower. I know they're showing support, but, like, she really needs the support from her husband or just she
Husband,
wants
mhm,
her friends, and then
yeah,
them like, if he doesn't show up because he's not trying to be on camera, it's almost they're, like, already pushing the narrative that he's gonna be that he's a shitty person, and that's right, because he's been there since day 1, and they've treated him not the greatest, like, they've always
yeah,
made a bad narrative about him.
yeah. So Gigi shows up with Dennis, and of course, Mo shows up to the open house because it's his agency.
Huh?
Sky and Bomb should show up, and Sky has said she hasn't seen everyone since Palm Springs. Gigi passes out her Valley Girl necklaces to everyone, and Sky kinda was like, "I'm not wearing this," and she gets to dig that it's at her.
Yeah.
And then Mercedes is talking to Sky, just saying like, "Why don't you go over? Are you gonna talk to Tanin?" And she goes, "I don't like who she's around, so I'm not gonna go say hi."
Yeah.
And Mercedes is like, "Well, you guys have a long history. Like, you guys spend every holiday together. You guys do this together." And she ends up saying, "I piss on love." So that's kind of where we end that
I know,
one.
I heard that. I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
I know. I was like, okay. Episode 9. So this is the final.
Okay. Yeah, go.
All right. Episode 9. So this is the final of the season. It's Skin by Tannen launch day, which is very exciting. I'm very excited for her.
Mhm.
Mercedes and Reza meet up to talk about her open house and how Tommy didn't say anything to Reza and just left. Reza said, "It isn't about him, it's about you and how you feel." He said, "You are a married single woman at parties," which I understand because Tommy obviously doesn't want to go. Mercedes says she fights for this marriage and how and her parents divorced. She thinks about when her parents divorced and she was about the same age as Shams when that happened and she doesn't want to do that to Shams. And then she says, "I need to stick up for my marriage." And she tells Reza this isn't the place for him and to stop talking about it. And then they kind of leave like on weird terms, I feel like. Gigi and Reza J go to a salt room to distress and they talk about Sky there. And of course, Reza, being the guy he is, he has to he has to take his shirt all the way off. He's doing like, first I thought he was gonna do push ups and he just lays in the sand or the salt. And he has Gigi like go on his back and crack it. And I was like, what is happening here?
What's happening here?
And then they talk about Sky and how all that stress is happening because Raza J has kind of been in between Sky and Tannen at this point. Tommy and Mercedes meet up with a marriage counselor. The counselor said Mercedes feels like her needs are unmet, and Tommy is just not having it with this counselor. He said, "All the things you're saying," he goes, "I don't see any of that happening." And the counselor kept saying, "Yeah, because it's happening to your wife. This is how your wife feels." And she says, "Being part of a marriage is a partnership, and that's like going to events together, which he's currently not doing." She said he needs to work on his anger, but Tommy says he doesn't have to work on anything. So he talks about how I believe both of his parents passed. He was living in the streets for a little bit. He kind of had to fend for himself. So I definitely think he's got anger and resentment that he needs to work on, that he just doesn't know how to work through it and might take it out on his wife. But in his eyes, he says he doesn't have anything to work on. Mar and Natasha go visit his ex-wife's grave. That was very sad, but I guess that was Natasha's first time going to the gravesite, which is kind of interesting. Guy is not excited about Tannen's launch party. She really doesn't want to go. It's finally the launch party day, and I thought everything turned out really cute for hosting it at her house. I love the theme of it. Reza and Mercedes talk about how they left the combo. They make up. Dennis was there at the launch, and everything good. Everything seemed good with them. He said that he told Gigi that he has a friend that can get her a billboard for Intimately Gigi in Vegas, and he also found a couple of houses for her in his gated community. So they're
Who
going to be
did?
like Dennis found a couple of houses for her in his gated community.
Dennis. Her ex-husband, Dennis?
Yeah. So they're gonna be like this soon, like very because he even said, I'll pay a little bit of the house. But I feel like that's his way of saying I'll pay for it, but you need to be like literally close to me. So
Sounds too controlling.
Sky and Bombshell finally arrive. They say hi to Tanin. And they talk about Tanin and Sky talk about MJ in the party and the comment that Sky said about waiting for Tanin to come say hi. She said that comment is not true and they're making stuff up and she should have just come talk to her in the first place. Reza can see that Sky is kind of talking shit about them and saying they stir up drama. So Reza called out Sky for talking shit about the rest of the group and how Tannen didn't defend anyone. And while they're all just kind of letting Tannen talk about her skincare line and thanking everyone, Gigi is next to Adam and next to her Sky, and she keeps saying, I want to throw my drink on her. I want to throw my drink on her. And they're like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And I think Adam finally says yes. And she does it. Sky goes ballistic. She freaks out and goes, get her out of here. Get her out of here. I'm going to call the police. She shouldn't be here. So then everyone just gets their panties in a wad, as my dad would say. And Tannen has to put out the fire with Sky, talk to Gigi and say, this is my party. Don't do this again. And let's all get along. So I felt kind of bad that happened at her party, but that's kind of where we leave the end of the season. So
Yeah,
I,
I
I thought it
know.
was I thought it was a good season.
But isn't it called is that an assault when you throw water on someone? That's considered assault?
Probably is, which is probably why she's been arrested a couple times.
Yeah, I thought it left a bad taste. I mean,
Well, like,
especially at your friend's
it's a party,
party,
yeah,
you wanna try and contain yourself, and that's
exactly.
who your real friend's gonna be,
Yeah,
is save it for after hours or
yeah,
but so,
yeah. I agreed. I didn't think it was the right place. Do you want to do Potomac reunion part 2?
yeah. So first, I mean, I wanna get something out of like, I just want to since we are live and we're doing this, let's also do, just send out a message or a little farewell, to Mary and,
Mhm.
her son. My heart goes out to you. I have a son, and I can imagine. You have
I
2,
couldn't.
I have
I could.
1. I just wanna put it out there, Mary. I mean, my heart goes out to you. There's so many people supporting you right now, and we feel for you. The Bravo world just wants to let you know that our heart goes out to you, and if like I just want to say that because that's the
Yeah,
biggest nightmare
I
out.
couldn't even. I couldn't even imagine. I felt so bad when I saw that. I thought it was fake news
And I
when
texted
it
you.
popped up.
Yeah,
I
I was
know.
like, "Is this real? Is this real?" I can't tell what's real anymore because
I
there's
know. So
stuff
much
going
AI.
out there, and it's just gotten to the point where, like, how do we know if it's true? It has
I
to come
know.
from, like, directly from this
From the
person, and
so
we haven't
I
posted
know.
it yet. So, yeah, it's heartbreaking. Addiction is not something to take lightly, and, throughout the episode, we did see her do as much as she could as a mom. Kids today, I are just it's just addiction, social media, bullying, everything, like, there's gotta be a change, there's gotta be a stop, like, there's gotta be a better way, there's got
Yep.
and it's the adults, and I blame us. I think if we're all parents and we're all like, you know, you can't tell my kids what to do, and I raise my son or whatever. Like I feel like there's gotta be a better way. There's so many parents, so many women, and we're so strong. And if we could all just get together and just come up with a solution,
Up
like
with a plan.
yeah, and break this chain, break this statistic, and it's wild, it's crazy to me because I feel so bad, and
I know.
yeah,
I wish I could do more to help her or, like, just
I
help the situation in general.
yeah, in
Like you
general,
said, we
like,
just kinda need to band together and do something.
do something. Like, it's getting out of hand, the social media, like, my niece, my sister-in-law, she's been going through some stuff, and her daughter, like, it's just hard, like, she just had to move to a different school because of the bullying
It's
and
bad. Yeah.
videos going viral and just getting to that point, and she's in middle school, like, she's, like, a 5th grader, like, I'm just like,
Wow.
"What
Okay,
is
that's
going
young.
to the point where she has to go to a different school, like, that's how bad the bullying is. Like, get it together. The schools need to do better.
Yeah.
Do better. Do better, people. So, yeah, so I just wanna quickly say that. But back to where we were with Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 2, it quickly jumps back into Wendy and Ashley arguing and the whole debacle with Ashley putting her 2 cents in about Wendy and speaking out of term and saying something like, "We all knew this was gonna happen," or something along the lines like that, and Wendy just calls her out. She calls her shady. She doesn't believe a word she's saying. And Ashley's not backing down. She's like, "I'm just repeating what the media says," which is you shouldn't do anyways, like, that just
Yeah.
your character, like, okay, so you're just part of the show, like, you're an actual character on the show. This isn't you shouldn't be doing this. If you're wanting to make friends, that's not how you make a friend or keep a girlfriend.
Mhm.
She tries Andy goes, "Why?" Like, everybody's saying on social media that she's a mean girl this season. I believe it's true. And Wendy calls Ashley's fake apology. And she also says, "I found out what you texted Stacy." And they pull up a text message because Stacy was like, "I couldn't sleep last night. How about you?" And basically, Ashley says, "I don't feel bad for her because she's been condescending to many of us." And the word condescending is having or showing a feeling of patronizing superiority, meaning that she thinks she's above everybody. So she's
Yeah.
looking down at you and stuff like that, which
Talking down to you. Yeah.
yeah, like I get a little bit of why she's feeling that way because Wendy is she's a very proud person. She knows her stuff. She stands tall, shoulders back. She's accomplished. She has a doctorate degree. So she was a professor
Yes.
at a university. Like she's done a lot in her life while raising kids. And so I get why Ashley kind of feels that way. But in order to feel that way, you have to have a self complexity issue. Like, what does Ashley have? She has a bartending degree, and she tried to have her own restaurant, but it wasn't hers. It was
Didn't
her
work out. Yeah.
husband's. So I get why Ashley can feel a little bit smaller standing next to Wendy. But if you want to talk about condescending, let's pull back the video where you're talking to what's his name? What's the guy's name that she was dating?
Oh, the guy in the show? I don't
The
remember his name.
show, and remember they pulled it up. Oh, I can't even think of his name, but they pull up
I can see his picture, his face.
yeah, but like her being condescending when she goes, I should be taking lavish trips on an airplane. That's
Yeah.
condescending. That's saying
Yeah.
that you are superior and that you
Yeah.
are held to a certain standard that men should be treating you and spending their own money the way that she feels that she needs to be treated. That's
Yep.
condescending. So
Yep.
it's kind of like hypocritical, or maybe she's just repeating what other men have noticed about her. you know?
Yeah.
So I think Ashley needs to look in the mirror before she starts telling assuming things. And then she tries to also say something about like, I didn't make the statement until after the mugshot smile came out, which is when the whole story came out.
Yep.
I'm like, that's when the whole story came out. Literally, her mugshot was up there, and then it says Wendy got arrested.
Yep.
So I'm like, so you're trying to still back up your comment, which you shouldn't have made in the first place.
Exactly.
And she did it when Karen went to jail too. So she like feeds off of other people. She weaponizes other people's legal trouble for a storyline because she did it with Karen too. When Karen went to jail, she ran with it. She was like, I'm going to go with this because then I don't have to tell people about my life or my
Yep.
story. So yeah, so I noticed like Ashley is a piggyback, or I'm gonna call her little piggyback rider. Yeah. And then she doubles down, and then Stacy jumps in and says, "You were mean spirited about it. I do agree about that." Ashley insists that she was simply repeating rumors, which I think is terrible.
Yep.
And then Andy asked her about how much she got in alimony with her ex-husband. And she was like, I will never, ever, ever talk about how much money I have or make. And I was like, okay, Ashley. But you
Yeah.
would if you could. You would if you had
Exactly.
money.
Do you think there's like an NDA on it that she can't talk about it, or she just doesn't want to talk about it?
Probably. Probably. We'll find out more. It'll all come.
Yeah. It always does.
Ashley also explains to the housewives about the whole
Mhm.
Teresa's son and the whole kissing. Andy goes, "Was there any more kissing than that?" And Ashley goes, "No." And then Andy goes, "Who came on to who?" And she said, "He came on to her." And she was upset at Charisse because Charisse went on the platform and used this as to go around and say how upset she is. And Giselle chimes in and basically backs Ashley up, saying that Charisse has always implied that Ashley was going to be her stepdaughter and that she should date him and kind of encouraging it. And so Ashley kind of ran with it.
Mhm.
Like Giselle and Ashley kind of talked about it and
Yeah.
they wanted to like squash this because it does make Ashley look bad and it does make women of a certain age realize like, you can't hang out with us because my son is,
Yes.
is
Is
in
of
your
age. Yeah.
just like I would never, if I had a daughter and I knew men in someone else's group was attracted to younger females, I would not bring my daughter. Or
Yep.
I would not hang out with you or choose to be around you because, you're just like, like
Mhm. Mhm.
so I get Giselle and Ashley, they probably came up with that plan. Because why talk about it? Why not,
Yeah.
say
Why
this
not get on
before?
the same page?
Yeah. And then they go, so Jazzy ends up showing up and Jazzy and Kay, then Andy goes to Kay and says, "Can we get an update on your relationship?" Because at the beginning, Kay was living in a different apartment from her boyfriend still, Craig, and said, "Oh, I'm not going to move in until you put a ring on it, yada, yada, yada." So that was at the beginning. And now we're at the end of the season and she moved right back in with him. And
Mhm.
during the season, they make a scene where Craig goes ring shopping and he takes one of her friends and looks at this big diamond and stuff and they make this big thing. Well, girl, there is no ring yet. There is no ring. And you've been saying this for 3 years.
Um,
3 years that you want a real commitment and you keep going back to him. And I agree with Giselle because Giselle said he's never going to put a ring on it. He's never going to put a ring on it because you keep going back. So he always knows that you have him in the bag.
yep.
And I agree with that. So I don't know. I feel bad, but that's just the way men work.
Yep.
Like they're going to dangle it in front of you just a little bit and keep you on the edge, but I don't think
Yep.
they'll do it. So Jazzy shows up in this beautiful dress,
Yeah, it was
made
beautiful.
African designer, which we all know that all the ladies have African designer dresses, which I think is very cool. Andy gets into Kay and Wendy when they first, at the beginning of the season, they had a little debacle, an argument over Wendy and Kay at some event that Wendy was speaking at, and Wendy didn't acknowledge Kay. So that was a whole argument. Kay was like, "You felt like you were better than me," which is the whole condescending thing, I'm assuming. And Wendy was like, "But I have a picture of us hugging at the event." And she shows the picture of Kay
Mhm.
and Wendy hugging. She's like, "So I don't understand your dynamic, like why you didn't say that part. Like you said, like I didn't acknowledge you, but I did because here's proof." And then Kay like brings up she has a picture, but she has a picture of the building, like the picture of a building where they had the,
Yeah.
and I thought that was weird. I'm like, what is the picture of event with no,
What does that prove?
yeah, like literally there's a picture. I'm pretty sure she has a picture of her in the dress where she spoke at. Kay tried to create a story, I believe, and was false. So I thought that was interesting.
Mhm.
Jazzy joined and she sits down and she is now married and her hubby plays on the Patriots. And then they start with Kay and Jazzy and the whole dynamic. I didn't get it. They were kind of like bickering and you know how women they bicker and they just were really going at each other's throat
I didn't
and
understand it.
yeah, they were just saying things out of the blue and they were kind of being childish because they were both going after their body or their looks and stuff and like, like that's just not what you do. Like
No.
we're at a new age where women are stronger together and we realize that. and they're just not at that age or knowledgeable on how well they would work as more as a team than fighting. It was very childish, like, "Oh, well, you didn't have your makeup on and I didn't notice you."
Yeah.
Or, so I was just like, "Girls, ladies." It was very childish.
Yes.
And then Jazzy interrupts and basically drops a bomb and says, "You stole Greg from his wife and you're raising his children." And everybody was like, "No, she didn't." And so then that's when Kay started jabbering again and they start bickering. It was just like, this is that we need to know more on the backstory now. So that's probably where they will be invited back to the next season. And then Tia and Jazzy's whole debacle. I don't know if you remember when they were on vacation and Jazzy got really upset at Tia at the dinner table because it was like 12 days from her wedding and Tia was trying to like be friendly to Jazzy, but kind of it was not in a way that should have been because Jazzy is an engaged woman about to be a married wife.
Mhm.
And Tia was like, "Oh, that guy's looking at you. He's been looking at you all night." And I get it. Like, you're trying to be friendly, girlfriendish, whatever. But I'm about to be married to a man. We're filming, and it
Why do this?
kind of feels set up. So I don't know if she was really trying to be true, like a real friend, like a girly girl, or if she was just trying to catch Jazzy in a slip up.
Yeah,
So, I commend Jazzy. I mean, because you gotta catch him. Like,
you
that's when
do.
are you my friend? Are you just trying to, you
Are you
know,
out to get me?
yeah, and she caught it, and good for her, because if that would've went left or she was drunk and said something, it would've haunted her, and it would've cost her her marriage.
Yep.
So, good for you, Jazzy, and shame on you, Tia. Do better. Um your and then Tia goes and starts screaming, "Your one job is to be a friend of the show, and you're a friend of nobody. You failed at your own job." And I hate that because, like, you're a friend to nobody, and I think she's friends with Wendy. I think she's
Yeah.
with all the other girls. She just had a tiff with Kay and Tia.
Yep.
I don't think and Stacy. So, I mean, that comment didn't really make sense because I think she's friends with a lot of people. Giselle talks about her father. So Andy asked about Giselle and her father's will. Giselle makes this long explanation about her father being a civil activist and that there was some hand-me-down generational journals, I believe, or something along that was in the possession of his current wife. And she was going to get that, but she wanted that to be handed down to her generational real, like her daughters, which had been her granddaughters. And she did not win the case, unfortunately. So Giselle said they were doing something else in honor of her father.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I get why she was fighting for the well now because it is important. And it sucks because when you marry another person, like your grandchildren are, like it needs to be written hardcore. And
Yep.
yeah, so I feel for her. Stacy tells Jazzy she wants to have a moment, or Stacy tells Jazzy that she tried to have a moment and make up a fight at the very end regarding Stacy not wanting to go to the wedding. Again, Stacy probably didn't want to go by herself.
Yeah.
And if girls were going to go, of course Stacy's going to go.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, go by herself with a bunch of people she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, so it was Stacy also mentioned, she's like, the real argument is that you need to watch out because she likes to record. And then Wendy and Kay both acknowledge, yes, she has recorded people before. Like they both witnessed Jazzy recording,
What
which
is
I
up
think,
with housewives and recording?
yeah. Well, because they drink, which is expected of them to drink and don't eat. And they want to be able to remember things. Who was the one that was constantly taking notes?
Beverly Hills or OC, right?
Yeah, one of the ladies constantly was, like, taking
Taking notes.
was it
Was it
Amanda?
Dorit?
I feel
No,
like it was Summer House Amanda where she would get her phone out in confessions, and she would, like, "Let me check
no,
my"
it was a housewife because she was going to, she was in the middle of court. Oh, Miami.
Miami.
I can picture
What
her
is
face.
that?
The one Yes, Lisa. Yes,
Lisa.
it was
What's it?
her. Yes.
Yes, Lisa. Yeah. She's always taking notes. And they
Yep.
dogged her for that. So you can't record or you can't take notes.
You can't. Yeah.
It's a mind memorization, which I would
Yep.
fail. Like, I constantly take notes, especially when I'm arguing with people. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
"Oh,
have
yeah?
to. How are you supposed to remember?
I know." Can't remember when I'm heated. I
Nope.
say a lot of stupid things.
Yep.
And then they introduce Monique. Monique comes in. She is wearing a upside down pyramid, and she is saying that she went to Egypt and found herself. So this is a representation of an upside down pyramid and when she found herself. And I would love to go to Egypt.
Yeah.
I want to
Not
find
right
my
now. Not right.
No, 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 no.
But I think it would be cool to go see the
Yeah,
pyramids, ride
I
some
know.
camels.
Right, and not realizing that Egypt we need them because they have a canal or a river that runs
Mm,
or something big that allows boats for trading to go and pass,
yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
it cuts
Yes.
off, like, days, so you can either go around the whole.
Around, or you can go through. It's like a shortcut.
Yeah, or you go through as a shortcut and you gotta pay whatever. So
Yeah.
I was, like, reading that somewhere and I was like, "Oh, okay, Egypt." So Monique shows up. She shows up with her old binder
Mhm.
from a couple of seasons ago when she was on, and it's funny. She comes with receipts. She also says she got a cease and assist at, like, 9 p.m. the night before filming from her husband. She doesn't say what it is yet, but
Yeah.
she thinks that someone told him that she was filming with her children. So now we know that in order for her to film her children, obviously he did not give permission to be the kids filmed in Bravo.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, because yeah, it happens all the time. So she got a cease and desist and she brought her binder and she also wanted Tia also or no, Stacy wanted to clarify what she was trying to get with Angel about her husband and some of the issue or if they're even having marital issues. She wanted Angel to know like I didn't mean it like as a bad person, like I didn't mean to gossip. Wasn't trying to dog your relationship. I was just trying to let you know that as a woman, you could come and handle things differently because sometimes when your relationship is not the greatest, you leash out to your friends or people you're close
Mhm.
with or people you're hanging out with. So Stacy was trying to I mean, Monique was trying to tell Angel, like, "You can come to me." Like, I've been there,
Yeah.
she's a pro football wife, and so she's been in her shoes, and Angel didn't take that. She's like, "I think you were just trying to be mean," which after what she went through, I don't think she could trust anybody in the group. And that was about it, and Monique, at the very end of this episode, Monique pulls up a video with her phone saying that you can't air this, but I'm gonna show you guys anyways. So they're gonna edit this out,
Mhm.
pulls up the video, and it's something about Stacy because Wendy's face says it all. And Andy's
Yeah.
like, "Are you waiting for Stacy?" So it's a video recording of probably
Yeah.
saying something stupid. So that's where they cut off from this episode.
Yeah, it was an okay episode for it being part 2.
Mhm. It was a pretty good one.
I can do Vanderpump Rules. So this is episode 11. We learned that Angelica went from an A cup to a double D. I guess if you're getting that surgery, just go big or go home, I guess, with that. Because why not? I mean, I guess it makes sense. They're going in, so just do it. So we find out that while she was in Houston getting her surgery, her ex moved out. Natalie and Jason go on a date and they talk about the beach party and how everything went. Jason really thinks that they are like dating or heading towards that. And Natalie's like, I'm just having fun. I just kiss whoever when I'm drunk. I just do whatever. I do me. So they're on totally opposite pages. Audrey talks about doing, right? Audrey talks about,
Disease and kiss everybody. Let's get her.
right? Right. Audrey talks about doing a stand-up comedy show, and she says she's gonna call out everyone in a funny way, basically, like, roast them,
Yeah.
which I could see going good or I could see going bad. We learned that Audrey and her friend Parker went back to Chris and Jason's house the night of the beach party, and she spent the night there. And she said it was very PG. So I thought that was interesting because we didn't learn that little tidbit. And Natalie is going to sing her song Passengers at Pride with Chris and Jason as her backup dancers. They are so funny as backup dancers. The ladies like hit it and they're like it was really funny watching them try and dance.
I was like, "Oh, no.
I know. I was like, but
Magic
if
Mike
anyone
gone
can do it,
wrong."
right, right. Jason said he's really feeling Natalie. He tells Chris this. Chris says one day he's confident he's feeling Audrey, and the other day he is not because they're going to be traveling. So he has this big speech with her after he dumps her. I think he just didn't want to be dumped, to be honest. He has this big speech with her at the beach party to Audrey saying, like, hey, basically, like, I don't like how things ended. I really want us to be together. And then she comes around to it, and now he's like, I'm not sure I feel her. So I'm like, he just didn't want he didn't want to be dumped. So then we learned that Chris did a porn with a porn star. She fell in love with him and wanted to take him everywhere, and he wasn't into it. And I was like, why does this really sound made up? Why would he not want to travel with someone who's going to take him everywhere? At that age, I would have traveled with anyone. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Something feels weird about this. But that was Jason telling us. So I was like, I don't know. That story felt weird to me. Angelica said she's talking to someone new and she's picking him up from the airport. This girl moves on so fast. Like she can't be single. So Angelica and Natalie go to something about her. They have a sandwich. Angelica starts spreading rumors to Natalie that Shane said he was never into Natalie and very, like, not stimulated by Natalie. And then Natalie says, well, that's funny you say that because while you were gone, Shane was all up on me trying to get back with me. Angelica gets so butthurt by this. She says, do I need to stab you? And I was like, girl, again, you were still, I mean, I know your ex moved out, but you're still in that weird circle. Like, you have nothing to talk about at this point. Like, Shane ended it with you. Like, just move on.
I know. I know.
So they're back at Sir, and it gets back to Natalie that Jason is like trying to talk to her, or Jason wants her, but then it also gets around that her and Shane had like a thing. So Natalie literally goes outside and talks to both of them, saying, you both don't control me. I can do what I want. I can talk to whoever I want. I can kiss whoever I want, basically. And the guys don't like that, but good for her for standing up for herself and saying, I do what I want. So now we go to Audrey's comedy show. She literally roasts everyone. She roasted Chris, but Chris thought it was funny. She roasted Marcus and
I think there's
Kim,
one person she didn't roast.
and that was Demi, I
Yeah.
believe. And then she gets to Angelica, and I will say her roasting to Angelica was pretty roasting. Like, even like the crowd would go, "Ooh," and even I was like, "Yikes, that was a little
Yeah.
too far." And she ends up getting up to leave, and Audrey says something like, "Say hi to your ex or something for me," and I was like, "Girl." I think she took it a little bit too far. I understand why she did it. So Angelica leaves and is very upset, and that's where we leave that episode. Episode 12 was the finale.
I like that Shane came after her.
Yes, I forgot about that. Shane did come after, even though he came with a date, didn't he?
Yeah, but I've seen that girl. As I was watching it, I was like, he also walked in with her at a few other events. I've seen
I
them
thought so.
together in
Yeah,
multiple
yeah, yeah.
episodes. So this
But yeah,
girl
he
must be, yeah.
must be whenever he needs someone. Yeah. But yeah, Shane did go out to check on her, which I thought was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that. Episode 12, Venus is getting ready for Pride. Angelica is also moving and talking to the girls while they are packing up her place about Audrey's comedy show. And she said she is mad about the jokes that Audrey made at her and that Audrey never reached out to her to ask if she was okay. Chris is back to being a playboy. Audrey comes over and he makes her dinner. He said he wants to be more romantic with her, but then also if they both meet someone else, that's fine too. So he wants to have his cake and eat it too at this point. So Audrey leaves and she thinks they're on the same page, but then she gets home and talks to her friends and says, we are not on the same page. You couldn't even give me a vase for the flowers. Like, I had to bring the flowers home by themselves and put them in my own vase. And she's like, I have to break up with him at Pride because we're just not on the same page.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
again,
I've seen this done before because he got rejected
yep.
last episode.
Mm-hmm.
He feels that he needs to reel her in
Yep.
just so he can reject her and feel good
Yep.
about himself.
Because
Like
he did
he's the
not want to
one.
be dumped. He did not want to be the one that was dumped. Yeah. So Pride is going. It's kicking off at SIR and everything is going great. Shane talks to Angelica and says that he is sorry for what he said on the trip and wants to continue seeing each other. I think Angelica, whether she's talking to this guy or not, she used that as bait for Shane, so it would light a fire under Shane's butt and be like, "Hey, well, she really moved on. I really should have done something with her. Plus, she's got these 2 new things that everyone can." Yeah, assets, thank you. That everyone can't stop looking at, so I think that those are her 2 ways of reeling him in. Natalie performed her song, and it looked like it went good. We didn't see much of the performance. We just really heard her singing.
Yeah, I
So
was really impressed.
I
Yeah.
wish they would've showed more of, like, Chris and Jason behind her, but she sounded good.
Well, it was probably bad that they were like, "No, we need to cut this."
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I mean, and it was crowded, and I'm
It
probably
was, yeah,
sure they weren't doing appropriate things with their bodies because
probably not.
they
I
were in
mean, you
these,
saw
like.
what they were wearing with, like, arrows pointed out.
Yeah, so, I mean, they probably had to keep it PG.
Audrey finally talks to Chris and tells him that they are not on the same page. She said it's been 8 weeks and he should know by now if he wants to be with her or not. And I agree. At that point, you should kind of know where things are going or if you're just going to split and act like nothing happened. So they end on bad terms. Audrey and Angelica talk about the comedy show, and you can tell Audrey's really not having it after talking to Chris about the breakup. Angelica said she's upset that she did not reach out to her and ask if she knows where she's coming from. And Audrey's like, "No, I don't." She goes, "It was a comedy. I roasted everyone." Basically, like, don't take it personally, which Angelica definitely is. And that's kind of where we end this episode. And then we have a two-part reunion coming up on the next 2 episodes. So I thought the last episode was okay. They kind of just tried to tie everything together.
Yeah,
So
I feel like it was short, only
it
11
was,
episodes, is not
it
12
was,
normal? Okay.
yep, it was
Yeah,
12.
okay.
I think it just felt short because it was newer. I don't
Yeah,
know. But I also agree. It felt short. The same thing with the Valley. I was like, wow, we're already at the finale. I feel like it just started. So
they're running by fast. Okay, so let's do.
I can help you with Beverly Hills.
Yeah, yeah, help me, 'cause, what was it? Let's start with Erica, right?
Yeah. Oh my
Just
gosh.
go ahead and
What
have
do
you
we
found
think?
out who her ex is? I saw an
No,
art
that was my
someone.
question is who's her ex and when did this happen? Was this last year that this happened? So, like, 25, 24? Because this is filming in 25, right?
Yeah, so someone posted something that she thinks she knows who the ex is
Okay,
because she remembers seeing an article out
okay.
about her and someone in connection with the Girardis. It was either a bake investor or a lawyer or something like that. I'll have to find the article, but yeah, so apparently she was dating right after Girardi guy
Yep.
and he became physical with her and that is basically she's coming out and she's saying that she had to call her son who's in the police force.
That's who I figured she called.
And it sucks and it breaks my heart because it happens daily where, like, people in higher power, like
Mhm.
Denise and her, they can't say anything because it'll just make it bigger.
Exactly.
And that is just like, girl, you shout it from the rooftop because people can relate. A lot of people, a lot of women will
A lot
relate
of yes.
and they will back you up. Like girl, we will do our research. We
I'm
will.
just surprised that she kept it under wraps for a long time. I wonder if she was ashamed that it happened to her, and
Hmm.
she just didn't wanna say anything. Yeah, she's a strong woman, yeah.
Sutton was shocked. Sutton was like, "What? What?
Yeah. I mean, I
What?"
was shocked watching it. I feel like I was just like Sutton watching it,
Because we
being
all
like
envy her. She's such a
exactly.
strong, powerful
Such.
woman, has
Yes.
your back. So I was shocked. Denise, they were at dinner. So it was Denise, Sutton, and Erica. And Denise
Mhm.
was talking about her. And Erica brings up the picture of Denise's black eye.
Yeah.
So Denise explains her story, what happened and the falling out. And it happened because she had two cosmetic procedures. She had a facelift.
I think so.
She had two surgeries back to back. She had a facelift, and I think she had. I'm touching my breast because I think she had something done with her boobs.
I thought yeah.
Okay. So during her facelift, there was an incident where he was taking care of her and she was sitting in the bathroom and she had to pee and she had like a tube or whatever, something, and she had to
Weird.
carry it back and forth. And he reacted or he got mad or something and threw the phone at her head. And that was like the realization like, this is not going to end. Like, this has to end now.
This has
And
to end, yeah.
yeah, so she, like, finally said enough was enough, and she said she's been enduring it for years, and they all kn like,
I mean, I always thought he was weird. I always thought something was off about him.
he followed her like a puppy. Like,
Yep,
he followed her like he had the key to the safe
yep,
or the password to her safe or he had black tapes and he was
yep.
sex videos or something like that. It always just felt eerie.
And then didn't they show that clip where they're leaving one of the parties and she
Mhm.
says I think it was her, she's like, "Don't say anything, we're on camera." Like, was that her that said that or was it him?
It was her. She said, "Don't stop talking," and he was like, "Don't tell me what to do."
Yeah, yeah. She kept saying like, we're on camera, we're on camera." So I
Yeah.
also felt like that was telling too. I forgot about
That
that.
was very telling. And he was always there, like, the only guy.
He
Like,
was,
you would think, like, he would be in the house with PK or Mo or something in the background with the camera crew, but no, he was literally sitting at Kyle's party.
at the
It was a
table.
girls' party with a bunch of pillows and flowers, and you're the only guy sitting there. Like, does that not
Yep,
say, like, I know you're here to protect your wife, but it looks like you're trying to protect your money.
yeah.
So, I'm glad for Denise. They just ruled too on her spouse, like, she has to pay K a month to him, which I think
Mhm.
is great.
Yeah.
Like, 5,000 a month, that's not bad
No, it's not bad.
because his business went under. Remember, he had some kind of medical facility rehab,
Yes, and
and you thought
he
that
was
was
getting
sketchy?
he was
Yeah.
getting sued by at least 1 or 2 people, right, for it?
Yeah, because one of the patients passed the mother or the wife passed away, and he wanted the money, the spouse wanted the money back because
Yeah,
it was
because
a
it didn't work.
treatment. It was some type
Yeah.
of healing
Yes.
treatment for wellness,
Yep.
and he said his business has gone down or under since then. So I think 5K is good, like, take it
Yeah.
or leave it, final
Yeah.
stamp it. They also I don't know if you wanna chime in, Amanda's Past, the church group she was involved in. I kinda didn't get the story. She said that they moved from one state to another,
She, like, from what I remember, she followed him from whatever state she was in before to Florida,
Florida.
and then that's where he kinda became controlling, and, like, any money she earned, I believe he took it all, and that's where he, like, started cutting off, like, ties with her friends and family, like, she couldn't talk to them anymore.
Mhm.
I don't know, it was kinda weird, and then she somehow realized, like, this isn't how it should be, and she got out.
Yeah, she finally, like, left one day during one of the church services and never came back, and then he, like, text her
Yeah,
and said, "Don't speak to the others about this because if you can get away with it, then the others definitely think that
exactly.
they." And I was just like, "What is going?"
Yeah,
That is definitely a cult.
yeah. No, it most definitely was. It was just, like, a weird story, so
Yeah, so, I don't know. Anything else? I know Kyle and Dorit, they're still in the Hamptons with Zoe.
yes, they're still in the Hamptons. They look like they're having a great time in the Hamptons. I think
Yeah.
that's what Rachel needed, was just to be out of LA, back in her happy spot, and just have a girls' night at the Hamptons. I mean, what they all went out and drank and were dancing and just
Yeah.
having a grand time, and then was it the next episode where they go shopping? Well, first they meet her family and
Yeah.
what's her face is late, and they're literally at the house, and Dorit is late because she can't find an outfit that's, like, Hampton-y, and
And then
so
she
they're all
comes in a black dress.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and they're all waiting for her, and Kyle's like, "This is so unprofessional of her," and I was like, "Well, this is Dorit to a T." They
Well, this
go
is
out.
just like when they waited on the tarmac for what,
Yeah.
2 hours? Was it 2
Yes.
hours they waited
Yeah.
for her before they
Yes.
left to Sutton's trip to Arizona or something?
And then they go out to eat, just Rachel, Dorit, and Kyle, and that's where I feel like Rachel opens up about her divorce a little bit more, so something happened, and it sounds like Rachel's ex told her that something happened, and that was kind of like her last straw.
Yeah, there wasn't too much detail, but yeah, Rachel said they were all sitting at the dinner and Rachel goes like, "He told me."
Yeah.
He was in Aspen and she was in the Hamptons, and something happened and he
Happened.
confessed. He confessed
Yes.
something that possibly has been seeing someone.
That's what I was wondering.
But
It
if you're
was like
seeing someone in Aspen, everybody knows everybody.
yes.
And I feel like Kyle knows because Kyle knows everybody, and so I feel like
Yeah.
he got back to Kyle,
Yeah.
and Kyle relayed them so I feel like that is how Zoe got into the Bravo world.
And that's kinda what I thought happened too, because Rachel kept saying she feels bad for her parents because they lost a son. It wasn't a son-in-law, it was a son.
Yeah,
She said she feels for her family, but yeah, she gave a little bit more insight into that, and then what happened the next day? They went shopping, and Dorit spends almost, like, $5,000 and can't use one of her credit cards.
4,900. She's trying to use where were they? They were in the Hamptons though,
They're
right?
just like yeah, like just like a little boutique.
Yeah, so her credit so sometimes it happens, like,
Yes, because
you
you're
have
not
to
in your
if you're out of state or out of the country.
they think it's fraud. Yeah.
Yeah, they think it's fraud if it's a certain amount, like, you only
Yeah.
have like, a limit,
Yes.
but her credit card worked, her outfits were cute,
They were cute, yeah.
so but
And then what happens? Bose calls Kyle, and Kyle kinda tattles on Dorit, saying she was late to dinner meeting her family, Rachel's family, and then she goes, "This wouldn't be me if I was in a divorce," but she spent a lot of money, I think a lot of money, and I wouldn't have spent that much.
I think it's crazy that Kyle makes up and then considering that she knows that Bose and Dorit are really good friends, and then it's
Yes.
just gonna go right back to Dorit, so I
Oh,
think she stepped
100%.
herself up. I think
I think that 100% she did.
she
She, like
enjoys the drama with Dorit.
she does, she does. I don't know what else happened. Bose goes out with Keely and her daughter. I don't know,
Yeah.
how do we feel about Keely?
Keely, her daughter?
No, her guy. Isn't his
Her
name
guy?
Keely? Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah, they go to dinner. What would he asked the question, "If I didn't make money, how would you feel? Like, if I lost my job and had
If I
no."
lost my job, because she said, "I feel like you're gonna leave me if we can't have kids," and he basically said, "No, I will not leave you if we can't have kids." And he said his fear is, like, if he loses his job,
And
would
what
she
was
leave
her
him?
response?
I don't
Can't
remember.
I
I
didn't
can't
get it.
remember what her response was. I don't know, I don't like him. There's just something about him.
There's something eerie about him. It'll
Yeah.
come out, it'll come out.
So, but I feel like that's all that really happened on Beverly Hills. It was more of the Hamptons.
Yeah.
So, Southern Charm,
Southern Charm,
yeah, they
crazy.
go to Puerto Vallarta,
Yeah, they're in Puerto Vallarta. Shep is attempting to make this bonding amends between Austin and
Austin and
Craig.
Craig.
And Madison has given birth to her
Yep.
daughter. I love the name Teddy. So she doesn't go on the trip. So they start I think they start off with, they're at the dinner table, and this is where Craig is telling Vanita to basically be quiet. I don't talk about you, don't talk about me. Like, he's defending himself. I get
He
it,
is.
because Vanita is sticking up for Austin when Austin and Craig are trying to mend, and they don't Vanita doesn't know that Austin and Craig have already talked about it at the pool and so Craig just snaps because he feels superior to women, and I think Craig has a male I feel like there's something about him that he feels emasculated by
He
women.
does.
Something in his childhood happened. Maybe his mom's the lawyer and the breadwinner, and she was hard on him because the way he talks to women is it would never happen. It would never happen in front of me.
No.
I would there would be hands exchangements. Like,
And
how has a woman not slapped you?
I think he's getting away with it now because Paige would put him in his place, and he doesn't have that now.
Yeah, and
He can just do whatever he wants
yeah,
with no
exactly.
consequences, yeah.
Yeah, because he's hanging with the bros and the bros are gonna have his back. Like,
Yeah.
and so it was just a very heated conversation, and Vanita was taken back.
Yeah,
Went
she
in
didn't
there, kinda tried to defend her, but also said, "I get both sides." Sally finally steps in and says, "You can't talk to my friend like that, like, no matter how mad you are, Vanita's my friend, and I think you need to step back, like, you just
yeah,
need to kibosh it." And I'm glad
yeah.
that Sally was the only one, even though she's
I
been
know.
fighting Vanita the whole time about Craig, she finally steps up.
Even Rod didn't say anything, which also I was disappointed in him
Yeah, and he
for not
regretted
saying
it.
anything. Oh, he
Yeah,
did the
they
next day, yep.
and they all regretted it the next morning. They were like, "We should have had Vanita's back." Yeah, you should have at the table,
And
but you
Austin said
didn't.
And Austin said he didn't chime in. He goes, "Because you're gonna get nowhere with Craig." He goes, "I've been there, done that." So I get what he was saying, but I feel like he could have said something.
It's basically you're fighting with a wall when it comes to Craig.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's what they came to the conclusion, like, if anybody steps up to Craig, he's just gonna, like, yell for no
Yeah.
like, there's no, like we already know that Craig will never apologize because he's
No.
got a male ego complexity. He
Mhm.
feels emasculated by women, and I feel that's what he's doing with Charlie.
Yes.
He's gonna put her down, and he's gonna do make her feel low, and then she's gonna crawl back to him, and then make
Yep.
her feel low again in order to come back on the show, and I think
Yep.
it's like I feel bad for the way that Charlie's gonna end. I don't think it's
I
gonna be
know.
in his favor.
No, I don't think
Like,
so
if he
either.
could do this to Vanita, like, what makes you think that he's not gonna yell and scream at you?
Exactly.
He's too comfortable with yelling at women, and that
Yep.
the fact that the men don't say anything, and it took a woman
Yes.
to say, "Hey, stop it," it just says a lot about the males in this group that makes
E
me so which is why none of them are married.
exactly. Exactly.
Craig, Charlie so the next morning, they all wake up, there's, like, some of Molly apologizes to Vanita. Sally and Austin end up making out that night. Sally, like, follows
Yeah.
Austin to the bathroom. Did you see that?
I did
I
see
was
that.
like, "Girl, desperate. Anyways, we're talking about you, and that's what you wanted." So
She's been desperate this whole trip. Anytime Austin's mentioned, I feel like she's, like, dry humping the air. Like, calm down, like, we get it, you like him. We get it.
we get it. You would sleep with the producers too. Like,
Yep.
girl. And so then half of them go ATV, half of them go surfing. I think it's Austin, Sally, Craig, Whitney, and Charlie. They all go ATVing. Craig and Austin sit on the beach. Whitney does something weird, like Rob is holding a towel for Sally to change, and Whitney just walks up and starts looking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What a creeper." Like, you see Rob hold like, Rod's just not holding a towel just to hold a towel. He's holding it for privacy, and you literally just walk over there and look over the towel, which I get it,
Honestly,
everybody's seen Sally naked.
yeah, I forgot Whitney was even there.
He hates it. He's having a miserable time, and
I know, that's why I forgot he was even there, 'cause doesn't do any of the beach things. He hates
he's
the
like, "I
beach, he hates the sun. Like,
fan one
why are you
moist."
here? Why are you here?
Girl, like, you live in
A hot state
you
with beaches.
like,
Like,
so moved to the north, but nobody would
yeah.
know. So Craig and Austin are on the beach and they talk about Austin's like, "Yeah, I made out with Sally. It was kind of hot. She like came in the bathroom and says, 'You know what I want?'" And Austin's like, "I couldn't resist. I just like her forwardness." I was like, that's called a hoe."
Yep. Yep.
I'm just
Yep.
like, you get that when you walk into a strip club. So, and then Craig tells Austin that Charlie and them have kissed, which was a big mistake because then Austin goes and tells
Doesn't tell
Sally,
Sally.
and Sally's like butthurt, like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, she didn't tell me." So I think it's just a crazy four dynamic duo they're all messed up.
Yep.
They all get and then they're on the surfing team, so then it's Molly, Charlie, Whitner, Vanita, and they all went surfing, Shep goes
Yep.
surfing, and then they're all sitting on the beach, and Molly goes, "Hey, Charlie, how do you feel about Craig's dynamic with Vanita the other night?" And Charlie basically says, like, "I'm not here to argue or here to make an opinion, I'm just here to have a good time."
Yeah.
Molly's like, "But you would defend one of your friends if they were attacked by someone, you know?" She was like, "Oh, yeah, 100%." And the Vanita's like, "Oh, so I'm not your friend," basically.
Yeah, yeah, basically, because you did not defend me.
Yeah. So I think Charlie's just kind of moving in the wrong way, but she thinks that she's safe and secure with Craig. Like she feels like her spot is held if she just sticks it out with Craig. So then they flip to Austin and Craig and all of them, they meet up at a agave plantation, right?
Yes.
For the
And
tequila.
tequila, right?
the
Yeah.
plantation and they start drinking. Craig gets wasted. They want to go back and have dinner. So they all go back and have dinner. Craig gets more wasted. Sally's letting Austin take shots off her body. Craig's throwing his credit card everywhere because he thinks he's hot stuff. When in Mexico, like it's so cheap.
Yeah, right.
I'm a rich mother ever. And I'm like, it's Mexico. Calm
Yeah.
down. You're a
Yeah.
millionaire with $50. And he's, like, going behind the bar, like, he owns the bar and making a toast, and then in confessions, like, Whitney says, like, "This is not gonna end well. Like, we need to stop this madness." Like, he is not enjoying himself. He's like, when Craig is drunk, it's like a different personality. It's like Jekyll and Hyde, and
Yeah.
everybody knows that from the past episodes. He
Mhm.
starts screaming, and anybody that comes in his way is just crazy. So then yeah, Sally and Charlie start arguing because Sally's like, I found out you're making out with
Craig.
Craig." And so then Charlie's like, "Yeah, I don't tell you guys everything cuz you guys bash him. Like you don't like him. So why would I tell you how
Yeah.
my relationship with him is if you've already set this judgment towards him. So I can't really talk about it. I can keep it to myself." So then Sally's like, "Fine, don't tell me," and walks away. She's like, "I'm over it." And so they're all got to go. They get in the car and then Craig goes to the side of the store and buys more liquor and cigarettes and comes back onto the van and then things like go down south.
Okay, this is where I got really, really lost. I was confused.
So Craig's holding a tequila bottle. So he gets in the
Okay.
they get going and Craig's holding a tequila bottle and he's like, "Hey Austin, look what I got. I got tequila bottle." And Austin's like, "Why would I drink more tequila, Craig? I've already drank enough. I've been drinking all day. Why would I drink more?" And Craig like they cut and then you can hear Craig say he's like, "Cuz you're my dude, right? You're my friend. You're going to drink with me, right?" Like kind of just like encourage like
Coaching
peer
him, yeah.
pressuring him.
Yeah.
And then they pull back the video to Sally, and Sally's eyes are open, and she goes something along the line like, "This like, you're insane with your hair in front of your face," and kinda says it to Craig, and
Yeah.
Craig basically says, "Shut the F up," and starts yelling, like, just going off. And Sally's like, "Who are you like, what is going on? Who are you talking to?"
Yeah.
And so then Craig just like Rob's like, "Don't be an asshole." He starts yelling. He's like just sees red and you can see
Because
him
he's
get
because
up.
he's super drunk, right?
Yeah, he gets up and he's trying to open the car door to a moving vehicle. Like, I'm just like, what? And so he's like, and Charlie's in the background, like just holding her mouth. Like she's like literally like this. And I'm like, "Charlie, have a backbone for your friend.
Say something, yeah.
Say something before he physically like, he almost like, if you have to get up, to me, that's a defense. Like,
Yep.
you're like, now I'm in defense mode, and I have a right to defend myself. If you start from a sitting position, and now you're yelling and standing over me because you have
Yep.
a male ego complexity problem, like, I'm gonna fight you. Don't stand up over me. So, it was crazy, and Craig's like,
I I
"You're
hope this was a wake-up call for Charlie,
and he's like,
seeing
"You're an
this.
effing loser, you're an effing loser." Um, and then on Watch What Happens Live, Vanita was on the show and was saying that the whole time Sally was texting Vanita, like, "I'm scared. Craig is going off. I feel unsafe." And like, I was just like, "Oh my gosh." Like, why like
Yeah.
he gets away with this? And it's just a flashback of when he dated Paige and he used to get
Yep.
fight with Kyle.
Yep.
Like, it's like you haven't changed.
Yeah.
So that's where the show ends, and I'm looking forward to the next. Is the next there's another episode, right? Or does it go to
No, that was it.
that was
That's what that was it, yeah, that's how we left that.
oh, okay.
The only other thing is, Summer House.
Oh my god, did I not do Summer House?
We could do it together.
Dear.
I was gonna say, so Summer House, this is only my 2nd season watching. I feel compared to last season, they're showing more shots of them in the city, and I
Yeah.
like that. I like seeing city and Hamptons, not just all Hamptons. I'm really enjoying seeing both
Yeah,
because I
because
don't know if
aren't
we
they doing a show too in
call it the city, yeah.
yeah, so maybe they were double airing. Like, they're doing
Maybe,
a video, and so they could make a video with 2.
because I don't know if we talked about it last time, but I like that they show that matchmaking in the city, and Lindsay came to that,
Yeah,
and she was
yeah.
she was talking to Ben.
She was talking
But I
about,
li
which I think is a cute idea, but
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was cute.
I like how she goes, I was a former publicist turned MILF," or something like that. I was like, "That's so funny."
And then there's a thing going around social media that Amanda is dating someone from that
Good for
actual
her.
meeting, and there
Good
it
for her.
just shows a picture of her fingers touching another guy.
Okay,
So they're trying to say that she is dating someone from that episode.
good. Good for her. She
For
needs to.
her.
She needs to date someone and move on. But what happened, blank? Lindsay comes to the Hamptons. Oh, I can't remember
Summer
what
how
happened.
yeah. Lindsay yeah, it was the dating thing.
And then Lindsay has a weekend away at the Hampton.
Lizzie has a weekend away at the Hamptons. Kyle's still crying. Sierra and West have a moment. Jesse
Yes.
asks Wes, if I made
Yes.
out with Sierra, would you be mad about it? And Wes kind of said no, but then is talking in confessions like, why would you, if you have to ask me that question, then maybe you shouldn't do it.
Exactly. Bro code.
Yeah,
I thought that was KJ that asked, not what's his
Jesse.
face that asked.
I
Yeah,
thought
not
he
Jesse.
asked. I can't remember. I thought
No, I think you're right, but at first I thought it was KJ that asked, but it was Jesse.
they were all in the room
Um,
too.
Lindsay makes them dinner. They go out. The girls come back and they
Kyle,
move
yeah.
those car.
Amanda's sick, so Amanda's stayed.
Yes, 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 yes.
Kyle's,
Amanda
like,
stays.
performing.
Yes. Kyle was before me, yes.
Kyle
And
was
the girls come back, Lindsay and Levi, or the other one, no, the other one. They moved those cardboard cutouts everywhere in the house. They put one right
That
by
was
the
the
door and freak them out when they come in, and they put them in the bed, and someone's like, "This is the worst thing we could have ever done. Let's get these
oh my
cutouts,"
god, it's so
which is
funny.
so funny. But yeah, the guys don't come back till like 4 a.m., if I remember correctly.
I was like I remember those days, but then, like, I don't it's not something I would go back to. My
Me
body
neither.
would not be able to handle it, and they're our age.
I know.
Like,
I
guys,
couldn't
what are
I don't
you
know, I could not handle it.
couldn't do
If I
it.
if I go to bed at 11, I'm like, tomorrow's gonna suck."
I don't even know when the last time I wore heels. I think when we went to that comedy or we went to that
Yep.
stand-up stage, but girl. But yeah, the show I think that was about it with Summer House. There wasn't really much besides the
It wasn't too eventful.
yeah,
And then, any Bravo news besides Mary? Mary was a big shocking one. I
Whitney.
know Whitney.
Whitney when she's on she's on something, she goes on some live show and she gets really wasted and basically says like they have tape of the flight of Meredith on the
I
flight.
didn't see
And
that.
the reason they didn't air it is because of that Meredith sent
Like a
legal
cease and assist type
yeah,
thing,
to Bravo and that her and who's the other lady? Lisa?
Lisa.
Are liars, and she just went off. She went off. She was wasted though, and she just says, "F them." So hopefully Whitney didn't get in too much trouble, but she basically says they have video and Meredith is hiding behind lawyers to not show that video.
That is crazy. Lisa
Here
Rinna's
it is. Here it is.
yeah.
Let's go. So Erica Jane revealed on the latest episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that she was like just having fun and it turned physical. So this is Jim Welks.
Jim
With
Wells.
him in
You seen him?
2023, and this was after her and Tom's already split. He's a friend of the family. Supposedly, he was helping her with her financial issues. However,
Wow.
Jim has a past and a history with TV with women. He was recently arrested in 2023 for firing shots at home during an argument. Police said. The woman he claims assaulted him first. However, police did not arrest her or take her into custody because she had a mark on her face. However, Jim does not want to acknowledge Erica, probably because
So Jim, and they were a friend of the family, and he helped her financially. And there was a
Wow.
picture circulating in 2023 of them coming out of a Las Vegas hotel after one of her shows.
Jim Wilkes.
Jim Wilkes, and he's also has a rap sheet that they believe that is the person. And she did say it was someone close to the family.
Is he older?
He's older. Yeah. He's
Wow.
scary.
Wow. This is terrible.
Someone posted that the ratings for Summer House is raking in 2 million views in 7 days.
Wow.
Like, even without Paige there, they're still one of the top shows.
I feel like people want to see the Kyle and Amanda, like, because they know they're getting divorced now, so they want to see what happens.
Yeah, I hate it, but she should have done it a long time ago when people were telling,
Yeah.
I think that was all the news that I
Yeah,
saw.
I feel like there
Oh,
wasn't.
Bose is on you know how she takes, she does like a premenopause commercial, which for women who are menopausal, which I thought was cool.
This is cool. Well, did you see that Lisa Rinna said she was drugged at the Traders finale with fentanyl?
I saw that too. So someone must have recorded something that she did. So
Mm-hmm.
she's doing damage control.
Yep. I feel like that's it. I feel like there wasn't a lot of Bravo news. Just Mary was that big thing that
Mary was a big thing.
unfortunately happened.
I know. I feel so bad. Ugh, my heart breaks for her.
I still can't believe it's real. I was in shock when I saw that. Before I sent it to you, I kept saying, oh my god, this can't be real."
I mean, and it sucks because like when you're an addict, like you have to microdose or take it's called Suboxone
Yep.
because if you don't, you could potentially put your risk at I mean, if you just quit cold turkey, that's not how it works. You have to
Yep.
microdose or you have to get Suboxone or some other type of medicine. So it
Medicine,
sucks.
yum.
It sucks. And he just got out of jail too.
I know. That's the worst part, I feel like.
He just got out of jail and his divorce was just finalized too, all in a row.
It was just like a double whammy for him, unfortunately. So, all right, Bravo moms, till next time.
And that's a wrap on the episode of Bravo's Moms Unfiltered. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did spilling the tea. Because let's be real, moms need unfiltered moments too.
Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you love today's chat, leave us a review. It will help other Bravo loving moms find us.
Yes, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, what else?
Amazon Music.
Amazon. And then also Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, like us,
That
star
is it.
us, give us your opinion, please, please, please.
Yes. Until next time, keep the wine chilled, the drama on TV, and the mom life real.
See you next week, Bravo Moms.
I'm reckless, offensive. I destroy your defenses. My guest list is priceless. And yes, I run a tight ship.